All right, so if we want to load paper on the A14M, what we need to do here is you're going to want to kind of ease this into the guides here underneath this bar right here. We're going to gently load the paper. We should hear the printer kind of tug it in here like that. So now the paper is loaded. And I guess if you wanted to cycle paper through the 814M, an easy way to do that is to hit the cutter button here. And all that's going to do is kind of move paper through and cut here, like so. Okay, so for the errors on the 814M, we have these two red flashes right here. This means that there's no paper loaded, so it's the paper out error. If I was to open the print head up, you would see 3 errors here. 2, 3. And that's going to show anytime that you have this print head up. If I was to close this, and now if I was to say I had paper in here and it was jammed, this would be doing 4 blinking lights. So here is a jam situation where we have this paper jam. You can see it's stuck here in the presenter. So this red light right here is going to blink 4 times. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a paper jam error. So the way to rectify this is you want to open the top up here, this print head, and you're going to want to pull as gently as possible here to get the printer out here. If you pull too hard, it could tear on this on the presenter here. And then what you're going to have to do is kind of wiggle it around here if it was to tear. So you can wiggle it around here if there's a tear and try to get it out here. But the easiest way, again, is to pull out of the presenter gently here so we don't tear the paper. All right, so on the 814M, it has a couple sensors we can look at here. If you lift the print head up, you'll notice there are 2 sensors present right here. This sensor right here is the paper load sensor, and what that does is when you load paper in here, it's going to come across here and it's going to hit this, and the printer is going to know that you've loaded paper, and then it's going to retract over to this sensor right here. This is the paper sensor. So as long as it detects that there's paper in the printer, that double error message on the side here is not going to occur because you have paper loaded. So as long as the paper is sitting along here, we know that the printer has paper loaded. If I was using black mark paper, for example, and I had a black mark, in this case, this sensor is located in the middle on this test demo unit, then as long as my black mark's in the center and this thing can see the black mark, it would know that there's paper there. This sensor can also be moved to the right and the left, but when you're using roll paper, it does not really matter as long as it's in the center. That's totally fine because there's no mark defined. And one more sensor on the 814M. If you have a presenter, if I lift this head up right here, the presenter head up here, there is a sensor right underneath the presenter here, and that's what's going to detect when your paper is passing through the presenter. So very important to make sure that if you were getting a paper jam at the presenter, you want to make sure that any paper over here is cleared out. The easiest way to clear that out is to lift this head right here and just kind of shimmy it out through the roller or through the front here, depending on how wrinkled it is. But as long as that's clear, you're not going to have a presenter jam. All right, so if we want to print a configuration spec sheet for the 814M, what we can do here is make sure that there's paper loaded in, and then make sure the printer is off now, and we're going to hold this feed button down right here on the side. So we're going to press that down, and while paper is loaded in it, we're going to power the printer on. And what this is going to do is it's going to have the printer print a config sheet here. Now, if DHCP is on the printer, then we're going to have to wait out the DHCP timeout. That's usually around 60 seconds by default. So since this printer in particular has the DHCP enabled, this config sheet has to wait 60 seconds. And here is the config sheet, and with this, you can get an idea of what the boot firmware is, the serial number, which is always important when you call in for support. We always want that. You'll be able to see, various other stats. You'll see your IP address. You'll see that DHCP is enabled, so that's why we had to wait out the DHCP timeout for the config sheet to print. But yeah, this is a very useful tool to gathering information that helps us with support quite a bit, especially as, again, the serial number right here.